Okay guys, I figured I would make this little video for anyone who wants to get the ball rolling for the new PvE missions coming out here soon. So, in PvE you have 4 difficulties, and we're looking at them right now. Minimal, average, substantial, and ruthless. Now, there's a thing called armory datas, and what those are is they allow you to get stronger weapons. And with stronger weapons means you'll be able to go through each of the difficulties a little bit easier. But there's a little trick. I'm playing this on mouse and keyboard for once. My controller's acting up, so I am learning the controls as we go. So each class is going to have a trial. So every single class has a trial. 3 trials to be specific, and they all vary depending on the class. So once you find a class that you're interested in wanting to play for PvE, do the trials, and here you can see what each trial does. So and they're specific to the class, and each trial will reward you with a mastercrafted, the green weapons armory datas, and some of these are actually easier to complete than others. Just depends on how quickly you can get the kills. And some of them, like here for the tactical, it's pretty easy. Just completed in a number of seconds. The last one here, you can see kill 5 enemies with a headshot, then scan a lictor with the Ausspec, as well as completing in under a minute to get your artificer data, your mastercrafted data. Those are used for your weapon trees. So here, tactical has a variety of weapons to choose from, but I'd recommend sticking to possibly 1 or 2 weapons. That way you'd be able to spread about a bit between another class, maybe possibly 3 classes, just because PvE, it does lock you out to where the team has to be a 1 of each class. So you can't have 2 tactical, you can't have 3 assaults, you can't have 3 snipers, you gotta have 1 of each. And if one player already has your specified class locked in, well, it's a good thing to make sure you have a backup class. Like I'm usually either tactical or assault, and assault is usually my backup because everyone really likes tactical. But here's what you do with your armory datas, and there's 2 ways to go about it. So here you can see this is what a tree will look like for a first-time user. Here you'll have your standard issue weapon, and then here's your mastercrafted tab, which will offer this specific weapon, the auto bolt rifle. 2 versions to choose from. Artificer will also offer 2 versions to choose from. Relic, 2 versions to choose from. So what you can do is you can bypass the XP needed to master this weapon and just use an armory data and immediately master the weapon. What that will do is it'll give you a mastery point. And the mastery point you use on each tab of the weapon tree. So you can only pick 1, at least for the standard. You can only pick 1 of these 2. So just kind of pick and choose what you want, because it is a one-time. It's a one-time thing. Then when you get to mastercrafted, you'll have 4 choices, but this one branches off. But what happens is this is going to be your first choice here. You're going to choose 1 of these 2 here. Or I believe what's going on is when I chose this one, it pointed to mastery restoration. So let's see here. Yeah, that's how it works. So looks like standard is what's going to determine the rest of your build throughout. I'm not sure if you can reset. Oh yeah, you can reset. All right. So let's just do. Actually, no, I won't even bother. But yeah, so it looks like for here, the stalker bolt rifle. Here are your 2 options. Once you've mastered it, and you know what? I'll just use this as an example. So here, I have not used the stalker bolt rifle. I can put 1300 XP into using it with getting kills, or I can just use mastercrafted armory data, and I'll just use that. Now it's been mastered. It's given me a mastery point. Now I can choose 1 of these 2, but look through the rest of your tree and see what the rest of the perks are going to look like. So this one The weapon instantly reloads when you drop below 30% health. When your health is below 30%, oh, this one I already like more. First one, at a distance more than 20 meters, take 10% more damage. That's actually a good one. Now it's all, now it only, not only has it been mastered, but now it has a perk point. So now it's already a little bit stronger if you follow its statistic, its stat that you've picked. So long as you follow it, you'll be good. And then once I put 1500 XP, and here it shows you the amount of XP you got to put into the weapon to actually unlock the tree. Because yeah, you've mastered it with XP. Now you got to funnel the rest of the XP, keep using it to unlock the next tab. And we can use, let's see, I think I have one available. Okay, so yeah, here and mastercrafted for the bolt pistol. To get to Artificer and start working on getting one of these weapons, I only need to pour in 35 more XP. But since I have already mastered the mastercrafted weapons, you'll have both available to you, and to unlock them, all you got to use is just your requisition points. So you don't need to use another armory data slot. Just use requisition. So 15. So yeah, I'll buy this. So now I have both versions. This one will offer me 2 extra rounds for the magazine and 20 rounds, but I'll lose +1 accuracy. And the standard is just 4 accuracy, because this is this is the one I still need to use. But I don't want to actually put any XP into it, so I can just master it if I wanted to, but I'm not going to, because I kind of want to save those for when I get to using this bad boy. For the assault, same thing. And each weapon will have a different number of available weapons per armory data, per armor slot, whatever these are called, really. Here I have 2 hammers. I chose this hammer first because if you can look at the standard hammer, it's +4 damage, +3 speed. This one is +8 in strength, but you lose a little bit of speed, but you also lose block. So there's another thing to look at, is some of these will have negative attributes to the defense for melee weapons. And I tried to use this hammer here that gave me a lot of strength but lower speed. But the lower speed means the blocking was pretty bad. Even with my perfect parries, I wasn't actually able to parry. So my block was, whenever I blocked an enemy, it would just stagger me. So I quit this weapon and I just bought this one. Less strength, but I get a lot more speed, and I can easily block with this weapon, which makes it way easier to deal with the hordes. But if I were to master this weapon, this version of the hammer and mastercrafted, I would get another perk point. And you know what? I'll just use this as an example. Equip it. I'm not going to put any more XP into it. I'll just master it. So now I get another mastery point. And you can see I already have one unlocked. So aftershock preparation time reduced by 30%. So here's the next one that I can unlock. It's increased by 5% for melee damage. Now, I'll buy this hammer for 75 requisition. I don't want to use it, so I'm just going to master it. So I still have 2 of these mastercrafted armory data. I got another perk point. Now, here's another branching path. Do I put the point into having more strength, so having 10% bonus damage in total, or do I do ground slam, area of effect radius increases by 50%? What does this one do? Melee damage against this. Ooh, that's good for bosses. Extremist level enemies, those are bosses. Then you have Majoris enemies, which are mid bosses, lictors, raveners, warriors. Then you have Minoris enemies, which is just Hormagaunts and Termagaunts. So, well, by the way, you can always reset. I think I already mentioned that. You know what? I'm just going to do more melee damage. So now the next slot that I can pick is actually just one of these 2. So since these are unlocked, I'll still have access to one of these. And I do believe that'll happen when I've reached Artificer. I'll have to see how this will work since I have 3 mastered hammers. So I'll wait and see what happens there. But this is a really good way to get your character beefed up to start moving on to the next difficulties. But another little tip is anything higher than substantial difficulty and you're going to be really struggling against the chaos enemies. So what I would recommend is stick to doing Inferno, Decapitation, so the first 2 missions, and Mission 6, Ballistic Engine. These 3 missions are Tyranid specific, and Tyranids at higher difficulties are way easier to deal with, even when you have Neurothropes and Zonethropes to deal with. Vox Liberatus, Reliquary, and Fall of Atreus, so missions 3, 4, and 5. These are chaos only, and I tried to do Vox Liberatus on substantial. I just could not do it because I thought maybe I don't have to worry about average and just moved on to no, I can't do it because of the Terminators in specific. And as an assault, playing assault against chaos is really difficult. I don't know how to get around playing chaos when using the assault class. So just stick to using or doing Decapitation. Decapitation is the first mission in chronological order that you'll be dealing with a actual boss, which is the Hive Tyrant. Mission 1, you only deal with extremist enemies, and I think there is one, or not extremist, Majoris enemies. There is one extremist enemy, I think it's a Neurothrope, but you only encounter that in substantial. I've never seen a Neurothrope in average, only Zonethropes. But once you move up to substantial difficulty against when you're doing one of the Hive missions, there is a small chance that you'll come across Carnifexes, but Ruthless, you're always going to be coming across Carnifexes. So always keep that in mind. But hope this helps you bypass kind of the need to try and do these missions and farm them for the armory datas, because look, you'll get very easy amount of requisition points to start just pouring into your build, and then just work on the first 2 missions, just putting XP into those weapons so you can get the Mastercrafted unlocked, and then from there you'll be good to go for substantial difficulty. So hopefully this helps you out.